Something that's going to be really fun to follow in 2026 for NASCAR is Ram's return and the newly announced all-star truck that they have with Kaulig. With that, too, it's pretty much supposed to be a free agent truck, but let's be honest, it'll be an all-star truck from what we've heard and the way they're going to market it. And we've already heard of drivers who seem like they are almost slam dunks. So let's go through and look at those, as well as others have been rumored and others we might want. The first one up that seems like a slam dunk is Tony Stewart. And yes, I know he quit the sport as an owner in 2024. He was upset with the way NASCAR was being run and everything about it for the most part, but it doesn't mean that it can stop him from one-offs. Plus, he has the Dodge connection with his next step of his career being the NHRA. That is going to be the biggest hurdle, though, to this rumor or slam dunk is his NHRA schedule mixed with the Truck Series schedule. I know everyone's going to point at IRP because it's his hometown race, but he'll be racing in Seattle that weekend. So I really doubt he's going to be flying all over the country for one truck race at IRP. I also doubt he'll probably be doing super speedways or high-speed ovals just because of the safety hazard of it all. After all, look at the injuries that he suffered at the end of his career. He probably wants to preserve that NHRA side of things. So shorter tracks and maybe road courses are the ones we can look at. Of the ones that fill his schedule, St. Petersburg, Watkins Glen, San Diego, and the Roval are open for road courses, though I do think San Diego will be taken. And for shorter ovals, Rockingham, Bristol, and Richmond are open. My guess is St. Pete and Richmond. Maximize the viewership of St. Petersburg with him, and Richmond is a track that he has a lot of success and might mean a lot to him. The other one that seems good to go is Kasey Kahne. Like Stewart, seems like he's a near lock. He raced at the Rock in 2025 in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and he is one of the best drivers Dodge ever had, especially in the 2000s. He's one that I'd expect to probably try Rockingham. He was good there in the past. He's raced there recently. He knows the track. He showed real good speed as well in his Xfinity Series, start now O'Reilly Series. And I'd also say that Charlotte might be one that's up there. He's been pretty darn good there before as well. I think he's one that will race multiple races almost certainly. There's no reason to think he wouldn't other than other scheduled races he might be running, but I really think this would be a great opportunity and something he can just do for fun. Like I said, he looked great in that O'Reilly Auto Parts Series start in 2025, so if Kaulig and Ram can just give him a good to decent truck, he could actually win a race on Kasey Kahne Friday. I mean, how awesome would that be? The memes write themselves. One that intrigues me as one of the top rumored guys, though, is Jimmie Johnson. He has been rumored since about the beginning of any rumors having to do with this truck, and there's good reason to know why. Legacy Motor Club, the team he owns, is a good candidate for Dodge in the future, and lining himself up with Ram's entrance into NASCAR again would be a great way to start that relationship and maybe help grow that organization and that entire program in a way that maybe other drivers couldn't. After all, of the three drivers we talked about so far, Jimmy would be the one who'd be tethered long term. He's shown interest in running the complete San Diego weekend, from trucks to O'Reilly to Cup. So that has to be the top of the list of races that he would do. And he's talked about doing multiple races in different series through the year. The Daytona 500 is one that's almost a certainty, but Johnson could run just about any other event that's open on his schedule and Ram's schedule. Another interesting one that recently got thrown out there was from the Stadium Super Trucks on Instagram, who put a feeler post out about Robbie Gordon getting support to run a race. Now, this would certainly be a road course. I don't see how this couldn't be a road course race. And to be honest, I would totally be down for this. Robbie would be the most entertaining driver out there. Whether he's racing for the lead or racing for 30th, Robbie Gordon is going to race his heart out. And he was a former Dodge driver, though he raced pretty much every OEM at one point or another while he owned Robbie Gordon Motorsports. And I would say he would be my pick to race somewhere like Watkins Glen or Lime Rock or something like that. I think that would be an incredibly fun race to watch. He would be one that I would say you would have to throw him in at a road course like Lime Rock, not because maybe he fits it as well, but because That would be good for a one-off, while the Cup guys wouldn't be able to make it. And there are Cup guys that are definitely rumored for this and should be tied to it. And speaking of tying things, tie down any foam that's in the car so Robbie doesn't throw it out when he needs. Now, possibly the biggest name thrown out there when it comes to widespread interest outside of NASCAR is Cleetus McFarland. Of course, he is going to be somebody thrown out there. He's talked about racing more in ARCA and trucks this year if the opportunities arise, but nothing has been confirmed in any way. And I think there are two ways that this can go. Maybe it can actually be both, but I think two ways for sure that I could see this going. One is he is the super speedway guy. He goes out there in the biggest and baddest racetracks, which is right up there with his brand, and he goes out and hopefully doesn't wreck out. Though knowing the truck series at these tracks, he probably does. Or he races the Roval race on Fox. I know St. Petersburg is on Fox, but I feel like they need to have a more reputable driver for that, as it is going to be on a bigger network. It's going to be a doubleheader, and it's going to be something that'll be really important to Fox. And that's what I think when it comes to Cleetus McFarland. He is going to probably race in the races that are most advantageous for NASCAR and Fox to maximize ratings as well as other big events. And the early season ratings for races like Daytona and Atlanta and later in the year at Talladega are huge for ratings, as well as big Fox races where pretty much anyone would be able to watch. Plus, NASCAR would be able to maximize their reach on social media like they did with the ARCA race, live streaming inside the car with him. A bigger audience and a bigger potential net could really pay dividends for all parties involved. Now, there are 4 other rumored drivers that have been talked about. There's not as much steam to these guys, but at the same time, they have been listed as rumored drivers, so we should talk about them. Will Brown is somebody that I think on face value, everyone's expecting to race at a road course. But I would say the truck series, especially a truck he doesn't have to be tethered to more than one start if he doesn't want to, would be a perfect opportunity to get him some oval experience if that's the direction he wants to go. Elliott Sadler, a former Dodge driver and a pretty successful driver, all things considered in his career, would probably still have something left in the tank. At least we'd find out for sure. I would expect him to probably be more closer to the Virginia, North Carolina area for his races, but he could be somebody who could just be a plug-and-play driver. Again, somebody racing just for fun. Same kind of bin that I put Ryan Newman in. He has actually raced recently. I saw him race in 2023 at Darlington. It was kind of amazing seeing him race up close like that after what had happened a few years earlier. Newman is somebody, again, I think will probably just show up at a race we don't expect him at. And I think he would be good at getting them data and be able to not bring home the truck in multiple pieces. I think he is a solid driver they could learn from. And then AJ Allmendinger to me is a given. He is somebody I think that would go down for road courses or as well probably end up racing some of the ovals if needed. The parameters of Cup guys going down has been expanded from 5 races to 8 in the Truck Series this year, and Allmendinger would be one that could build a lot, especially as Kaulig in general is going to have any of their drivers that they're associated with probably race in this truck. So I would expect AJ to probably get the bulk of the races as compared to anybody else. Now, to finish off, I'll ask you, who do you want to see in this all-star truck? It could be any of these guys that we named before. For me, it's Kurt Busch. If he's able to safely race and it's cool with Toyota in 2311, a one-off from Kurt Busch coming back to Dodge, I think would be really, really cool, as long as he can safely do it. So that, let me know everything else down in the comments below. All right, leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to this channel for more great and fun NASCAR content. Thank you so much to all my channel members for your continued support, and until next time, have a good one.